7 footballers. 7 impossible stories. Some survived things that should have ended them. Some were rejected by everyone. By the end of this video, I promise at least one of these will give you chills. So stay till the end. Let's go.
November 2020. Raul Jimenez goes up for a header, and everything goes wrong. A sickening clash of heads. A fractured skull. Bleeding on the brain. Doctors rush him into emergency surgery just to keep him alive. Most players never come back from that. And the ones who do, they're never the same. He had to wear protective headgear for the rest of his career. He had to learn to head a ball again, to throw his body into danger when every instinct was screaming don't. Then in March, his father passed away. So when Mexico opened their home World Cup and Raul Jimenez finally scored, he didn't celebrate. He broke down in tears, and he pointed to the sky, for his dad, for the skull that should have ended him. For everyone who said it was over. That's not a goal. That's a resurrection. July 2021. A woman came to Wiss's door and threw acid in his face. A kidnapping attempt on his daughter. 6 months recovery. Emergency surgery. He came back. DR Congo hadn't scored at a World Cup since 1974. Back then, Zaire, first sub-Saharan team at the finals, went home scoreless. June 17th. João Neves puts Portugal ahead in minute 6. Then Wissa rises at a corner in the 50th. Header. Net. DR Congo's first World Cup goal in history. Kinshasa erupts. He nearly lost his eye at his own front door. 5 years later, he scored for 52 years of waiting. 5 clubs looked at this kid and said no. 5. In a row. Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, Fulham, Millwall, all said the same thing. At 15, Crystal Palace was Antoine Semenyo's last chance. 2 months of training. The coaches watched, and they said no too. So he quit, packed away his boots. A year went by. Nothing. Then a coach at a small college in southwest England, Dave Hockaday, saw something nobody else had bothered to look for. Brought it back. Bristol City signed him the week he turned 18. Ghana came calling. Then the Premier League. Then the World Cup. And when Semenyo walked out for Ghana in 2026, not in a Chelsea shirt, not in a Spurs one, he wasn't thinking about the 5 clubs that said no. He was thinking about the one man who said yes. That's not just football. That's what rejection looks like when you refuse to let it win.
There's a tiny island in the Caribbean. 150,000 people. That's it. Smaller than most cities on Earth. No football history. No superstars. No money. And somehow, Curacao qualified for the World Cup. The smallest nation to ever do it. Smaller than Iceland. Smaller than anyone. But here's the part nobody tells you. Right before the tournament, their legendary coach, Dick Advocaat, walked away to care for his sick daughter. Then the World Cup started. And Germany destroyed them. 7-1. A massacre. Everyone laughed. What are they even doing here? And then came Ecuador. One of the best teams in the world. 90 minutes. Curacao didn't score. But they didn't break either. 0-0. Their first ever World Cup point. The smallest country on the planet refused to bow. That's not a draw. That's history.
30 youth games for France. Then, at 17, Ibrahim Bey said no. He chose Senegal. Born in Trappes, a Paris suburb, to his Senegalese father. Joined PSG at 10 years old. By 16, PSG's youngest ever League One player. France called him 30 times. In November 2025, he chose his father's country instead. Group I, MetLife Stadium. France 3-1 Senegal. Mbappé scored twice. But in added time, Mbappé came off the bench, drove into the box, and smashed it home. The youngest African goalscorer in World Cup history. 18 years old. And he scored against France. He cried. Not because of the hat trick. Not because of the record. Lionel Messi, 200th game for Argentina, 6th World Cup, wiped tears after scoring against Algeria. He said he'd had difficult days. Days he wouldn't explain. But his teammates surrounded him in private. 3 goals. 17 minutes. 60. 76. Argentina won 3-0. Messi now has 16 World Cup goals, tying Klose's all-time record. 24 goal contributions. Past Pelé, 38 years old, the defending champion, his final tournament. And on the hardest days of his personal life, he still broke records. That's the GOAT. Maine was earning $30 million a year, but he refused to buy a single Ferrari. His teammates pulled up in supercars. Maine showed up with a cracked iPhone. Everyone laughed at him. Then they found out why. Maine grew up in Bambali, a tiny village in Senegal. No hospital, no school. He watched his own father die because there was no doctor. So instead of 10 Ferraris, he built his village a hospital, then a school. Then he paid every family monthly. Why would I want 10 Ferraris, he said. My people need it more. Bro is the real GOAT.
If even one of these stories moved you, do me a favor and subscribe. We tell the football stories nobody else does. New ones every single day.